Hello, North America, and welcome to another segment of the VIP Business Stock Show. I'm Emilio, Zinno, your host, along with Johanne Serpone. Hi, Johanne.
Hello.
Welcome back, folks. Folks, in this segment, we're going to cover business in 2013.
Business in 2013.
That's right, folks. We're in November 2012 right now, and we're kind of seeing what the crystal ball holds for us now that the U.S. elections are over. And, people have made their choices, of course. And what do you think business is going to be like in 2013 as we're nearing 2012? Because I got a thing or two to say about 2012. It's not over yet, folks.
No, it's not.
We got 2 months left.
Yeah.
And
in 2012. 2013.
Yeah, what do you think is going to happen?
I wish I could say something positive. But the only thing I can think of right now quickly is lean. Be very, very lean. It's going to be tighten belts. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be what you would sometimes. What is the worst thing that can happen? And what I mean by lean is that you turn around and you've got this business that is going and everything is fine and you got your clients and receivables and everything coming in, and then all of a sudden, as quick as that, it could turn around and just freeze for a while. And you better be lean to cover that period of freeze.
Lean and mean. In other words,
lean and mean, yes.
Johanne, in other words, what I'm trying to understand in all of this is that we should all embark on an austerity program for 2013.
Yep. And if I'm sorry, Don, to cut you. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say, for example, now that things are still well, and maybe, you're still got your receivables and everything that's coming in, and you think you're all okay, well, this is the perfect time to turn around and put a little bit into your coffers there, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this way you'll have it if there's going to be a little bit of a period of a freeze.
Save for a rainy day.
Yeah.
So, Johanne, you're anticipating a whole restructuring of the whole world economy in 2013. This is my understanding.
I so wish, I've even asked the question to some economics, and they said, Johanne, it's not possible. It's impossible.
What's not possible, Johanne?
It would be a beautiful thing to turn around and have just the whole world just go bankrupt one day, and then we just all start over again.
I said that on one of the shows, folks. Follow me.
Yeah,
I said, what if the whole world went bankrupt and a clean slate and we started over again? I think that would give everyone a chance, and no one would be ashamed of even having gone through that process, because the whole world goes bankrupt.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like
But it's impossible, I'm told. It's impossible because in the end they say what I've actually had enough, because it's a silly thing to even phantom something like that, because it's impossible. And I don't recall, like I was speaking to some CAs and stuff like that, and they go, Johanne, it's impossible for that to happen because there's different parts of the world obviously have different assets. So everybody wants to try to, if they've got a loan to a country that has assets, well, they want to capitalize on those assets, so they're not going to let it go. So we always come back to the situation where it's impossible to clean up and start again. So
what about, Johanne, what about if people that are heavy debted, is it normal for these people to find the courage, follow me on this, folks, to find the courage and approach their creditors and say, I know I committed to a long-term payment for this year loan, but I just can't make these payments anymore. Now, given, the choices, yeah, sure, I can go bankrupt on guys like you and many other, or, help me out here. How can we remain good friends and still give you some money so that you remove the choke handle on me?
No, I believe that's possible.
That is possible.
Yeah. And I've heard stories, actually, of prominent businessmen that have maybe done that with their companies maybe about 30 years ago. And this is where they've made them into successful companies there today based on that. Or sometimes even if the creditor goes on the long term, saying, okay, fine, you pay me a little bit of time. We understand that times are rough, and when things get better, well, then you'll pay me then. And a bit they write off, a bit they collect a little bit on a longer term. I've heard quite a few stories, particularly recently, because of the recession and everything that's going on, or the times that economically that are so hard. A lot of businessmen have told their stories of about 30 years ago, and how they did that, and how they made it into successful companies that they have today. So yes, Don, it's an excellent idea for business people to kind of do. Sometimes we don't want to do it because we're afraid. We're afraid. Fear is our enemy in every level, be it in the business level, personal level, family life, any level. As human beings, we always have this fear. So of course we're going to have a fear that we don't want to approach our creditor, because God forbid if he turns around and finds out that I'm a little tight in my cash flow, maybe he's not going to ship, he's not going to do this, he's not going to do that, he's not going to work with me. So we have a fear. So a lot of time, because of this fear, we have a tendency not to speak with our creditors until it comes to a point that it's impossible to even try. But if we would to approach them in a specific way, with a certain internal plan that you may have, I think you'd get a lot of support. And fear is also false evidence appearing real. So
yeah, you keep saying that.
Yeah, well,
false
because
evidence appearing real.
it's pretty
Did
simplified.
you make that up?
No, I didn't make it up. I was told this by someone told this to me about 15, 20 years ago when in a conversation, and I said, no, I'm afraid. I don't want to do this. I'm afraid. I admitted it like that. I have an incredible fear of doing this. And I was given this line, and I go, what? And I said, oh, pretty cool. And I remained in my head ever since then. And if you think of it, and we do, it's part of our makeup. It's part of our human nature.
Well, Johanne, let me tell you and the folks what I foresee for 2013. And again, I'm not trying to be a business clairvoyance, because I read up on a lot of blogs, pertaining to business, and follow the stock market. First of all, as we speak right now, there's a strong stock market correction that's taking place right now, the day after the U.S. elections, and rightfully so, where the Wall Street boys trying to send a message out to Obama. Who knows? But I'm saying there is a correction taking place. Will it fall forever? We don't know. But 2013, I think the real estate market is picking up slowly but surely. That's a good indicator. But I sincerely believe that things will take a bit of time before they, sort of do that F-18 growth. It'll take time. Right. It's not going to happen overnight. So I think Johanne's advice, overall advice, to embark on an austerity program and just be careful with your spendings, even though we shouldn't be saying this, because everybody wants you to spend your money so that they can make money. But the fact is, the bottom line, you got to also think of a rainy day, because really nobody will care for you and your family unless you take some sort of precaution in case all hell breaks loose. So that's my prediction for 2013. And I've got to humbly say that for the overall love and respect that I have for humanity in general. So folks, we want to thank you for joining us again here on the VIP Business Talk Show with Johanne Serpone and myself, Don Emilio Zinno. Help us spread the word around that we're here every week on VIP Internet TV. Until then, we want to wish you all the best in health and in wealth. May God bless.
Bye-bye.